So hi everyone, it is morning and I'm still waking up. I want to talk about iron body conditioning, just an intro into it. And every time I seem to try to make this video, I always convince myself not to upload it. I'll make like a 20-minute video on this and then I just won't upload it. So the first thing I want to talk about is why I started doing iron body conditioning. And that is essentially where you hit your body with hard objects to make your body stronger, to make your muscles bigger and make your body more unlikely to get bruised and stuff like that. So what I started doing, the reason I started doing this is because 4 years ago exactly, my leg, my patella, that's the ball in your knee, twisted my leg all the way backwards. It just completely came out of its place, twisted backwards. I wasn't able to walk for about 6 months at all. I had crutches. I couldn't move. And I think that's the time around when I started recording video logs of me doing iron body conditioning, but I made all of them private. And they look pretty funny. I rewatched some of them. But my point is, iron body conditioning did help, surprisingly. But I also had to eat really healthy, do stretching. I didn't start doing stretching until this year. Because my knee, it was able to, I can bend it again, but it's still a little uneven. You see, I grew up with clubbed feet, so my feet curve kind of inward like this. This one supports this one. This one's a little straight. But ever since I started stretching, they've been getting straighter. The longer you don't stretch your legs, the harder it gets to stretch your legs. But if you do it every day in repetition, they will get better. Just putting that out there for anyone who has CP, or they walk like this, or it's hard for them to walk. That's a good way to actually fix your legs, because the medical industry tells us that, oh, you have this problem, you're born with this problem, you can't fix it. You have to take these drugs, or you have to do this, or you have to do it our way. But you really actually can just do it from stretching. So in 2016, or it was the end of 2015, I started using a brick instead of, I used to use copper bars. But the cool thing about a brick is that it actually makes your skin more elastic and smoother. It's weird. And another reason I don't really do this on camera is because you can't hear the noise that the brick is making. My audio isn't wonderful. That's why I want to get a new computer and make my audio wonderful. And what is skin elasticity? Skin elasticity is basically like this. Can you see the striations, or however you say it? Skin elasticity is when you meet someone and you see that they have no muscle tone, but their arms might be big. It's because they probably eat a shitty diet, and they eat some vegetables, and their skin looks like a balloon, kinda. Their skin is not tight and firm. This makes your skin tight and firm, which I prefer over being... I prefer being tight and toned than being big and fluffy. That's a good way to put it. I'm going to explain the basic. This arm is smaller than this arm because this leg is slightly crooked, so it's kind of uneven, but I keep stretching it, and I keep doing the, see how this one's flat and this one's upward? That makes it hard for this arm to bend, and it's all because of the alignment is off. But every time I stretch, it gets better. So over time, I'll eventually be aligned. Okay, so I want to talk about the points on the body. I learned all of this from myself, experience. This is barely known. This type of martial art is barely known. It's mostly known in China. And if you watch them do this in China, you will be like, they are seriously, this is just a brick. They fill bags up with rocks and they punch stone, like they just go all out on it. Like, I can kind of punch this, but only for maybe about a minute at most. Because I don't really train my knuckles. I do train, this is a method that they do in China. There are some American people and Russian people who do this. I don't know how many more have started, but it's less known. And this is a really useful martial art. It strengthens your body. It strengthens everything about your body. So, I want to show a good place in your arm to hit. Because you can seriously mess up a nerve if you start out and you just do it as hard as I'm doing it. You can't really tell because you can't hear it. But if it wasn't for this brick, I wouldn't have stronger arms right now. But I did just learn how to do push-ups correctly because push-ups weren't doing anything for me. And my friends at the gym showed me how to deadlift. I don't like deadlifting because of my feet. Until my feet are better, then I'll deadlift. I'd say I go to the gym about, well now since I've been busy, once a month. This is my workout. This seriously gives me faster results than going to a gym and lifting a bunch of bars and weights and stuff. You can do this to your neck. You can. Be careful though. When you first start out doing this, be gentle because your body will not be used to it. You would not believe how many bruises I got when I first started this. Now I don't get bruises. Bruises do not appear on my body. Literally, they don't. When I first started this, I was about 90 pounds. I was in the fixing stage of fixing my body. Because I grew up being so picky with food that I didn't eat anything. If it was a different color, if it was smelled weird, I wouldn't eat it. So I didn't eat anything growing up. I think I ate those baby carrots. So, hold on, let me get my water. Need my water. Sorry about that. Once I get the new computer, the new Mac, I will be able to edit my videos more and put jump cuts. Because it takes about an hour for my Final Cut Pro to upload the video to YouTube. It takes a really long time with my computer because my computer is almost 2 years old. So, let's get back to it. You know, I drink about 2 water bottles worth, two 8-liter water bottles worth of water every morning before I eat. That is because it speeds up your metabolism and burns off fat quicker. So one place you want to hit, and I don't know, this arm's weaker, so I'll show a demonstration of this arm. One place you want to hit is in between these two. In between these two muscles. It's hard for me to do this when my grandparents are here because my mom says, stop abusing yourself. I'm like, I'm not abusing myself. This is a type of martial art that a lot of military does in China. It's not really new, it's just new to us in America. One place you should not, and I mean one place you should not at all hit it. My body's so used to this, but the place you should not hit is right here. And if you do it really gently. Because for some reason there's a nerve right there that makes your arm very weak. And you're not really able to do your arm. When I first started this, I started on sand. I pretty much, let me do a demonstration. I filled one of those sleigh things, those round saucer sleigh things with sand. And this is exactly what they do in China. But they'll use rocks. See, sand has little shards of glass. It's pretty much made from little shards of glass. So when you're doing that enough, I was doing this. Like, I was hitting my forearms. Look at my forearms. My forearms are the most defined thing I have. Why? Because for 4 years, I've been training my forearms the most. So of course, my forearms are developed more. Also, I do this to my face. I only started doing this to my face last month. Because I said, my face is uneven. This side is more fluffy because I'm trying to make myself even with this. It's working, but not extremely fast. Why? Because I only can do it at night. At night, my grandparents go into the living room and watch Mysteries at the Museum. I hate that show. I don't like it when they make history up. So when they're distracted, I can actually do it in my room, but I can't do it as hard as I've been able to, so it takes longer of a time. The more you do it, the quicker the results. But when you get a bruise in the area that you're working on, stop. Let it heal for 2 days. Then keep going. Do not keep hitting the spot with the bruise when you first start out, because your arms will not heal. Unless you have super fast healing like I do, where when you get a cut, the blood vessels clog up really fast and you don't bleed. Yeah, I don't bleed, which is really kind of cool. I can't bleed. That started this year. I'm like, oh, out of all the mutant powers I get healing. And I'm like, then I just came to terms with it. I'm like, okay, it's like the Wolverine, so why not? I also don't age. You see, my muscles, they can grow bigger, but I stopped aging 6 years ago. Yeah, if anyone from my high school sees me, they're like, oh, it's Cody. Like, there's not really a different, my face got a little longer, but I pretty much have this exact same thing the Wolverine has. Yeah. I want to show you something. If you ever decide to start doing this to your neck, you have this muscle in the back here. Now, you do not want to hit up here. You don't. And if you do, hit extremely gently. They're called your lymph nodes. Your lymph nodes are near this area. If you hit your lymph nodes, you are fucked. Do not hit your lymph nodes. Another thing, if you're going to hit in the middle of your throat, do it extremely gently over a long period of time. Don't hit your throat hard. Hit it gently about 10 times. Your throat, believe it or not, doesn't take a long time to grow when you do this. Like, the muscles form faster in your throat than any other part I've noticed. But that might just be because of my genetics. Don't think it's going to work for you because it worked for me. Everyone is different. Literally, every person is different. And if we get superpowers on this planet, everyone will be different. Some people may be slightly the same, but Everyone is different. The main parts that I like working on are my shoulders, and it's weird. This makes your chest expand, like get further out, but it doesn't make it bigger. Like, it may make it over time bigger, but it will take a long time. And like I said, it's genetics. It's genetics. So since my legs are really skinny, I'm going to show you the places that you can hit on your legs that are the least painful for a newbie. The least painful. Bear with me. I'm in the kitchen today because the kitchen is the lightest room in the house. Okay. As you can see, my legs are skinny because of all my leg problems in the past. The places that are the easiest to hit, one, I can hit my bone about 6 times, and then I have to stop, and it has to heal. But a place where it's easiest to hit the bone is like this. If you hit it like this, it's going to hurt more. If you hit it like this, up here, it's going to hurt less. And you could probably do it more than 6 times. Second place I want to show you is down here and on the side. The side is probably the easiest place to hit your leg and not really it hurt. And if you're like me and you have good calf genetics, but you've never worked them and they're small and weak, then you should do this because you have potential. My legs only started becoming important to me in 2016, but I'm going to work on them and make them even better. Now, one place if you're going to hit, you're going to hit it very lightly, the front. Unless there are already muscles in the front of your leg, you have to hit it lightly. It's like every part of your body, you have to hit lightly. That's new to you. But when you're hitting something new, be gentle. The best way I found to hit this with your arms, you don't have to put it on the floor, you don't have to do any certain thing, and it works out the other arm a little bit, not much. You hold it like this, and you just go like this. This will work your forearm. And it's very effective. And then once you have muscle on your forearm, you can turn your arm sideways, like this, and hit like that. And yes, this does help you carry heavier pounds. You can lift heavier things. You would think, the bone. You would think you wouldn't be able to lift heavier things because you're just training your muscles, you're not lifting weights, but you don't have to. I can lift much heavier things now than I was able to 4 years ago. You also can put a bunch of rocks in a bowl, like a big tin barrel or something, and just put your hands around it. Like, stick your arms in there and move them around. That will strengthen them. And when I get my own place, because I will get my own place. Even if it's crappy, even if it's a mobile park for just the first 5 years. And then I save up enough money, get a better house. So, I'm going to do this a lot more once I have my own place. I'm not the person who plays video games in their bedroom, complains about their parents, and then never leaves. I don't want to be that guy. I don't. Sorry, I really like that one. It's because my forearms don't really feel pain anymore. Hold on. I'm kind of hungry. This is making me sweaty, so I have to like get my arms and wipe them with napkins. I used to do this at the gym, and people would look at me like, what the fuck's wrong with him? There weren't any bricks at the gym, so I would just get the bar, and I'd do push-ups with my forearms on the bar. And believe it or not, if you try that without like doing it for at least like a year, you're gonna have so many bruises on your forearms. You know what I used to do originally? I used to get the table. At my gym, there was a table outside. And once it got like to 8 o'clock at night and you couldn't see me out there, I would put my arms like this. I would toss the table up with just my forearms, and then I would catch it like this. And that made so many bruises on my arms. But then eventually I was able to do it like this. I threw it up like that, and then I caught it like this. And I hope, when I have my own place, to actually create a Wing Chun type of thing out of cement and hit it just like Wing Chun. That way, my arms and my forearms will be extremely strengthened. Also, this I learned in 2016 too. I call this brick rubbing. And this makes your skin elasticity get better, faster. And you will not be able to do this. You have to practice to do this. Because what's going to happen when you do it? You're going to get a cut instantly. This doesn't cut me. I can get the sharp end, and I can just go down like that. And the cool thing about about me, is that my scratch marks go away instantly. Within about a minute, my scratch marks go away. Now, I want to talk about the inside of your body. Okay, when you hit the bottom, sorry, there's not much room. When you hit the bottom right here, I'm going to get a marker. Okay, so we're going to mark a bunch of places. My chest isn't super important to me, but I do care about working my chest. So I'm going to point at this area right here. Can you see that? Okay, you can kind of see that. I'm going to point at this area right here. I'm going to point at this area up here. Can you see those? Yeah, there, you got closer. I'm going to point at this back here. Okay. So each one of these is a muscle. If you think that this is going to grow when you hit here, it's not. It took me 4 years to learn that. Because you do not want to overtrain one part and not work on the other part. It will look so weird and your body will be uneven. That's what happened to me for the longest time. Need water. If you talk a lot, you need to replenish your water because your body runs out of water if you don't replenish it from talking. You lose moisture when you talk. Okay. So when you hit, you can actually do this with slapping your body, but it sounds way weirder if people are around. Okay, when you hit this part, it makes these bigger. Like it makes the. If my mom was here, she's a massage therapist, so she could just tell you what every muscle is. But it makes this part bigger. If you hit this area, which you probably won't be able to if you're super skinny and you started out like that, like me, if you hit this area, it will not make your chest bigger. It will make this area bigger. If you hit here and here, it will work on the two muscles, the upper deltoids, I believe that's what they're called, and the lower delts. Is that what they're called? Oh, maybe. Chest muscles. But it won't make them bigger. It will expand them longer. The muscles will be expanded longer. Okay, if you hit your belly, here's what I want to stress, because I didn't know this until last week. If you hit your belly too much doing this, it will kind of make your belly more bulgy outward looking. Because if you don't work on your chest, but you work on your abs, it will just look really uneven. Okay. So, when you hit this area, you actually are working more of the lower chest, which is kind of interesting. But you have to hit like here and up here to make it even. Trust me on it. You do. You just do. So what is my diet? Someone will probably ask that in the comment. My diet is fruit, vegetables, and meat, and seeds. That's my diet. And sometimes I'll have a cheat meal where I'll just have like cookies and ice cream. But it doesn't really matter. That's what I always say to my grandma. I'm like, I can get this because I exercise. Yeah. Oh, last but not least, doing this releases stress. That's what I like about it the most. Doing it releases stress. And like I said, I do it to my face. I do it to my face because I think about in the future, what would happen if this happened? If I got into another street fight because I pissed off gangsters and they tried to kill me. Don't do that. I hit at my temple. I know that sounds crazy, but I do gentle taps until my temple is used to it, and then I can do harder taps, and then I can do harder taps. You start low, and you make your way up. Just putting that out there. If you straight up hit your temple with this brick, you're going to have a concussion. Just putting that out there. So where do I hit? I hit my jaw gently. You hit your jaw gently. Trust me. Hit my jaw gently. I hit here, and it's about it. I just hit this area around, kind of like a mask or a helmet. I hit this area around. Yeah. And if you see it, if you can see it, you can work your traps. You can work your traps. The best way to do it is like this. Like, that's the only way I found out how to do that area. But yeah, I'd say work on 2 areas a day. Whether it's your neck and your chest, your arms and your face. If you want to do your face, it's just protection. It's just protection. Your legs, your feet. Yeah, you can do it with your feet. Just type in on YouTube, even though I will eventually show up as the first search result because I'm learning more and more every day how to do that. still look it up. Check out other people's videos. There's this guy that's very informational. I don't like him. It's just that vibe that you get from some people. You're like, oh, I like you a lot, and I don't even know you. Or I really don't like you, and I don't know you, but I just don't like you. That kind of vibe. So there's that guy, and he shows you some karate and some martial arts. That's about it. So go to his channel. I will probably put it in the description. And look at my blog. I talk about tons of the things I talk about on here. Just check out my funny blog, theclinicallyinsanebiohacker.com. That's what it's called. And AdSense, I can't call you till Monday to get ads on my blog. That way I actually start making some money. I've got almost 1,200 people to see my blog. So let's get more and more to go see my blog. Okay, bye guys. Have a good day.